Everybody right now is worried about the damage and forgetting about the survivability, right, for the PvE build. So today I'm gonna bring you guys a build that has survivability and it has damage against NPCs for all your missions or even control points level 4, which you guys should be watching right now on the footage. And I've done this in about, I believe, 4 minutes that I clear up a control point. Actually, it's the build that I made on Title Update 5 and I enjoyed using that build so much I wanted to make another one for Title Update 6, right? It's the same concept, but all the pieces are all new. I changed everything around, and with that said, right, with the Title Update 6, that same build that was from Title Update 5, this one, it's doing more damage and has more survivability. I get around 95,000 armor on kill and I have 93% damage to it, with a bunch of other ways that I can get more damage, right? Today I'm gonna show you guys my best PvE AR build for Title Update 6 and I'm loving it.
I'm taking away too much fire!
Incoming hostiles detected. Heavily armored hostile.
So let's get into this, right? So this is the build, guys. This is gonna be the build for my best PvE builds of Title Update 6 for AR. I feel the build is just the way I want it, just in point. Everything here is just the way I want it exactly. And well, if there is one thing that I want to change, that I could change, it would be the talent Unbreakable. Because honestly, this is the first time I'm using this talent. I never used it before, neither in PvP or PvE. I finally wanted to give it a try because I know a lot of you guys like using this talent, so I said let me try it out. Plus on this chest piece, it's actually perfect for this build. If I had to change one thing, right, like I said, I would change Unbreakable for Bloodsucker because Bloodsucker is my favorite. Unbreakable is not too bad. So this build is gonna be my first time making an Unbreakable build, and it came out actually really perfect. We're gonna be using the FAMAS. We have 380,000 armor, 154,000 health. We have 2 skill for damage because we're not gonna need any healing skills because the build itself will heal myself. It's very important to use gunner because it's part of the build, the way this build works. Now on this build, when it comes to brand set, we have 2 Badger Toughs because 2 Badger Tough gives you 7% damage to elite and 15% armor on kill, which is part of this build. We have a Ferris Group AB that gives you 10% assault rifle damage. We have 1 Gila Guard that gives us 5% total armor. We have a Murakami Industries for that 8% health. And last but not least, we have a 511 backpack that gives us 5% protection from elite. So with that said, now let's go through the pieces one by one and to see what I'm working with, right? So let's start off with the mask. So with the mask, we have a Badger Tough mask. Like I said, 1 piece gives you 7% damage to elite and 2 piece 15% armor on kill. The attributes, we have 2 reds and 1 blue. 48% damage to elite and 4% critical hit chance. Now this damage to elite could be a lot higher. I believe it goes all the way to 63% damage to elite because I found myself one in the PTS. So unfortunately I have not found anything higher than this on the live game. But yeah, this could be a lot higher. And 12,000 health. Moving down for the chest piece, we have a Ferris Group AB to give us that 10% assault rifle damage, and attributes is going to be all blue attributes, even on the mods. So we have 3 defensive attributes, 14,000 armor, 31,000 health, and 25% total armor. The talent, like I said, is going to be Unbreakable and Hard Hitting. Hard Hitting for that 25% damage to elite, and Unbreakable, 70% of max armor is repaired when your armor is depleted. Armor kits used within these 7 seconds are not consumed and can occur every 60 seconds, right? And you requires 11 blues attributes, right? And we do have that. So this build is really specific and hard to make because you need to have 11 blues and 9 reds. Now for the mods, we have a defensive mod in here that has 3,900 armor, 3.5% total armor, and 2% protection from elite. So everything in here, like I said, is gonna be working perfect for this build. For the holster, we have a Gila Guard holster that gives us the bonus brand set, 5% total armor, and attributes 1 blue and 1 red, 44,000 health, and 7% critical hit chance. For the mods, what I like about the Gila Guard holster is because they come with 2 offensive mod slot, right? And for these we have a 2% weapon damage and 4% assault rifle damage. The second mod, 0.5 weapon damage and 5% assault rifle damage. So all of that is gonna add up for our damage on our build, right? The backpack is another way we're doing a lot of damage. This backpack is a 511, and for having one, we have the bonus of 5% protection from elite, which is good because this is a PVE build, right? And then attributes, we have 1 red and 2 blues. 3% weapon damage. Now I wish this was higher, but I'm not complaining. The build is really good and hits really hard already the way it is. And then I have 20,000 health and 22,000 armor. For the talents, we have the new talent that came with title update 6, Spark. Damaging enemies with skills or explosives grants 15% weapon damage for 15 seconds. This talent right here actually is gonna give us a lot of damage on our build, and we have 2 ways of proccing this, right? We have the skills that's gonna proc it, and we have the secondary gun that's gonna be the merciless, because there's a way you can proc this with the merciless, right? But I'll get to that in a second. The second talent is going to be Hardened, 15% total armor. And then for the mod slots, we have 1 defensive mod slot that has 3,800 armor and 3% protection from elite with 2.5 total armor. For the gloves, we have a Murakami Industries gloves in this build. By having one of this, you have 8% health, and then attributes 1 blue and 1 red, 7,000 health and 11% assault rifle damage. And the talent, I chose to go with Devastating, 5% weapon damage. There is another option in here. You could go with Precise for 15% headshot damage, but that's up to you, right? I like using the Devastating on this build. And last but not least, we have the second budget tough that we have on this build, and it has two attributes, one blue and one red. 11% total armor and 6% critical hit chance. For the mod slot, we have 1% weapon damage, 1% damage to armor, and 4% assault rifle damage. So all of that is gonna add up to our damage against NPCs, right? Knee pads also are not bad at all. I like the way they are. I like the fact that I can have one mod slot offensive and I have one blue and one red, right? Because I do need to have a specific amount of blue and red in this build. For the talent on the backpack, which is called the Spark, we need at least 9 reds to activate it. And the talent on the chest piece, which is the Unbreakable, we need 11 blues to activate it. So we do have our requirements, attributes to unlock both talent on this build. Now let's move on to the guns. So the guns that I'm going to be using is the famous gun FAMAS. Right now is one of the strongest gun in the game, the highest DPS gun in this game, and this gun is really strong. Now it was strong in Title Update 5, but the problem that was holding the FAMAS behind it was the fact that it didn't have a magazine, but now it has a magazine, so now it took the place for the best gun in the game, right? Mine on this build has 19.2k damage. RPM, basically that's 1000, and mag we have 50 on the magazine. For the talents, we have Ranger. Every 5 minutes you are from the target grants 2% weapon damage. There is other options in here. In my case, I like using Ranger, but there is actually another talent that goes perfect with this build, and the talent name is Preservation, right? Killing an enemy repairs 10% armor over 5 seconds. Headshot kills improve this repair, right? And actually this is a very good talent for this specific build, because not only you get that armor on kill, you also get armor repair over time for 5 seconds, because this talent right here is really good, and especially when you headshot kill, right? Now the way I mod my FAMAS is gonna be: on the optic we have 8% damage to elite, on the underbarrel we have 5% crit chance, on the muzzle we have 5% damage to elite, and then on the extended magazine we have plus 20 rounds, which is the sturdy extended magazine, right? For the secondary gun, I'm using a gun that I didn't use a lot in Title Update 5, which is the Merciless. Now, the Merciless right now is really good to use for a specific reason, right? Not only the gun itself is strong, actually, is a good way to use as a secondary because of the holster talent. So the holster talent says brutality. While holstered, landing a shot has 5% chance to deal 100% damage as explosive damage, and the explosive damage actually is gonna activate our talent on the backpack, Spark. So we do have the Merciless activating the Spark, and with the Spark we get plus 15% weapon damage for 15 seconds. So that's why I'm using the Merciless as my secondary. And not only that, that 100% explosive damage actually can be quite a lot of damage to deal against NPCs. So that's more DPS overall on your build. Now let's speaking of the skills. So I'm using 2 damage skills on this build. It's gonna be the Assault Turret and the Striker Drone. As you see, I don't have any healing skills because this build itself will help me heal myself as I'm killing NPCs, right? Because I have the damage to kill NPCs fast, and then once I kill the NPCs, I get my armor back, which is basically 95,000 armor back. Now let's move on for the stats, right? So the stats, you guys can stop the video if you want to take a look slowly, but I'm gonna scroll down a little bit slow. So our FAMAS has 19,000 weapon damage per bullet, 22% crit chance, 25% crit damage, 55% headshot damage, 11.5% all weapon damage, and 49% assault rifle damage. Now if you add these two, it's gonna be a total of 60.5% damage that's going to our FAMAS, right? And also if you pay attention all the way down here, we have a 93% damage to elite. Now if you go all the way to the defense stats, we have a 380,000 armor, 95,000 armor on kill, right, from this build, which is insane. And then we have 154,000 max health with 10% protection from elite, right? Even protection from elite we have on this build. Now overall, like I said, I'm loving this build. I like this build since title update 5. I always enjoyed it because I always been a solo player the most of the time, and this build is gonna help you a lot as a solo player, right? Because you get the damage and you can stay either moving around or in cover, because I like to move around a lot, so you guys see in the footage. But if you want to be in cover, this build also is gonna work just fine, right? I hope you guys enjoyed the video though. Let me know what you guys think of this build. Are you making this build again? I made this build since title update 5. I updated for title update 6. I love it and I don't regret it using it. I feel like this build is a lot more stronger in title update 6. So let me know what you guys think of my build. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, hit me with that like, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.